Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day. Welcome to the Fastcast, your weekly podcast of everything football. We have fantasy, we have predictions, we have bets, all the news, you name it, we got it all here. It's going to be every single Thursday morning, 8 a.m., right here on YouTube at the Fastcast. And today, I am joined here by none other than Chris T and Mr. Nick. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic, Justin. How about you today? I mean, you have to be doing good with such that energetic opening every single week.
Every time, it's an exciting week when football is on the horizon because, guys,
And
we are
that's the
here.
truth.
We're here.
It's week one.
It is happening.
Thursday when they are here. Thursday when they hear this, but it's Tuesday for us. We're 2 days away. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's a football day when our listeners
Wake
season
up to
kickoff.
the podcast, 8 a.m., and it will be football day.
I
Right,
might not
exciting.
even sleep Wednesday night. I just might stay up for like that entire weekend. I might just be so wired and ready to go. I might not sleep at all.
It's a great feeling, like Christmas morning.
Oh yeah, it's better. It's better.
But as
All right.
always,
Well,
let's get into it. Nick, we're starting
Of
week
course.
one, kind of the same setup as last year. Take it away.
of course, we got those predictions. Of course we do, but I got to ask you guys, how important is week one for the tone of the season? Can that make or break expectations of the year? Is later in the season more important? How important are these first games that are about to happen? And I'm going to go to Justin first on this.
Oh my gosh, me first. What an honor, guys.
Of course.
I cannot believe. Yeah, the week one, I would probably say every week is important. And that's just plain and simple. And the one team that I thought of as soon as you asked this question is the Bengals. The Bengals seem to, even, was it last year where they were a game out playing in the last week of the season for a playoff spot? And they had like a week one against like the Browns or something. A game there they easily should have won, but they didn't because they weren't ready.
Slump?
They weren't prepared. Week one is kind of like you need to find your identity, especially for the younger teams that haven't been playing long, like all these new coaches coming in, Jets new coach, Bears new coach, Cowboys. There's like I think 6 teams with different coaches. They all have to find their identity week one, but you got to put a high importance on like winning. Every week matters. That one game at the end of the year, you're going to look back at week one and be like, man, we had that game in the bag. That would have got us to the playoff if we just, the Bengals were prepared for week one and won it against the Browns. And they were one game away from a playoff slot. So that's just how I feel about it. Every week's going to be utmost importance. You got to get the wins where you can get the wins. Otherwise, it's going to come down the pipe, and it's going to hurt you at the end of the year.
And then Chris, I have a feeling it's going to be a similar aspect. At least that's how I
No.
feel about it as well. Oh, really? I feel pretty similar to Justin
No,
on this. So I'd love to hear
I'm
this.
gonna be a week one is not as important as week two. Now, give me a moment here because I have some things to back that up. Week one has shown no significant percentage of losing week one and not making the playoffs. Now, starting the season 0-2, since 1970, only just under 10% of teams that lost their first 2 games have gone to make the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
So, and I will also say, to kind of piggyback off of this to say that week one is not that important. The Rams last year lost week one. A thriller, overtime in Detroit. Not only that, but the Rams started 0-2. Not only that, but the Rams through the first 5 weeks were 1-4. Now that's a
So
little bit of an outlier. That
they
doesn't
were the
normally
Bengals of
happen.
the NFC then. In a
Yes,
sense.
that doesn't normally happen, but that just goes to show you that I don't believe that week 1 really means all that much.
Well, let me
Not to say
ask
that
you.
every game isn't important. Every game is important, right? And it could have detrimental effects down the line. Now, last year we lost to the Lions. It didn't really matter because we were so far in the playoff race against each other. So it as far as like seeding and stuff, it just didn't matter. But that could play a big role too.
I mean, I get what you're saying on that, but I definitely align more with Justin on this, especially. I mean, we all played sports as well. Like thinking back to when I played football in high school, that week 1 game, if that energy wasn't there after that game, if we lost, it's the tone for the season. It comes in as, are you gonna
See,
throw the first
that's
punch and punch someone in the mouth, or are you gonna get punched in the mouth? So
that's
that
that's a problem with coaching because you should not allow a first week new players, everybody all getting around. You cannot let a week 1 loss turn you into that because there needs to be somebody there keeping the morale high. And if you don't have that and you end up like that, then yeah, you're going to end up like
yeah, there's
those
problems.
teams. Yeah.
I had a
I
very
feel like
important question.
Yep.
I
Let me
know
hear
you
it.
said there was no significant statistics for the first game of the, making to the playoffs for the
Yeah,
first
I
week.
could not that I could find, I should say.
But a big important question to that is your 0-2 start. How do you get to
Yep.
an 0-2 start without week 1?
Yep, you do have to lose week 1, but you also have to lose week 2. So I'm sure there is a statistic for 1-1 starts as well. I don't have that number.
This would be a great time
Um,
for it. Boop, 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 boop.
it would be a fantastic time for that.
That's going to be a filler later, guys, by the way. But yeah, so I mean, I think that goes back onto the importance. Like, you never get to that 0-2 spot if you just win week 1.
you're not wrong, but at the same time, I feel like the week 1 isn't as important as the week 2.
I feel like you're really safeguarding my team because week 1 is not looking that great. Nick, what do you think about the
No,
picks?
it's not. And speaking of that team, happens to be the kickoff of the NFL season this year. Eagles versus Cowboys. Gonna be the kickoff.
Great.
Gonna be a rough game for the Cowboys. I'm gonna go in with my pick on this one first to start this all off. The DraftKings spread is at 7.5 for the Eagles. Um, so I'm surprised it's honestly not higher. The Eagles are a dominant offense, and the Cowboys just pissed away their best defensive player. I'm sorry, Justin. It is the fact. I think if it honestly, just for the safe aspect of it thing, I'm going Eagles money line on this. However, I think that spread could get cleared quite easily in this week 1 game. Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, hell, their third string running back might score a touchdown. Honest to God, when I was looking at like touchdown scores, I almost put every single Eagles offensive starter as a touchdown scorer for week 1. So Eagles money line all the way. Justin, I'm gonna have you go last on this one because I already know what's gonna come out of your mouth. But Chris T, how do you feel about this
Yeah.
kickoff of the season?
Offensively, I think the Cowboys are not a bad team at all. They have some really good players offensively. But obviously losing Micah Parsons is a huge hit to that defense. Eagles coming off a big Super Bowl win. I think they carry that a little bit here into this game. I think the Cowboys have kind of lost their direction as far as that defense goes, and I think the Eagles are prepared to take advantage of that.
And take advantage of the Cowboys.
Yes.
And Mr. Dallas fan himself.
Well. Here we are. The first week as a Cowboys fan, losing Micah Parsons, our only defensive player that we had left. But here's the good thing: Diggs may or may not. He says he's about 80% to coming back, which is good. Deron Bland just got a new because of the Parsons trade. He got a new extension, which he's going to
Huge.
be feeling great. Who else was it? Believe
Offensively, you guys got George Pickens. You took him from us this year.
for some reason I
You
want to say
got that
Williams is a got another thing. And either way, regardless, it is going to be a shootout match because I have a feeling this game that our defense is going to make one defensive stop the entire 4 quarters of the whole entire football game, which means the Eagles will score about 40 something points. This is a great overtake, by the way. If you're betting, guys, you're going to take the over 47.5. We do all our spreads on DraftKings, by the way. I know Nick said it, but I'm just going to reiterate it for everyone. This is a great over because we got a shootout. And I like our offense. That's like the only thing we have. We're going to have to be the Bengals V2 to win this game. And for my first... Just kidding. We're going to lose by 17 points. I'm actually going to take the alternate spread, Eagles minus 17 for this game. So you can put me down for the betting's the sake for minus 7.5. But I will actually be going in. I have to use Hard Rock because I'm in Florida. But I will be going in and doing a minus 17 alternate spread for this game, and we will lose by 17 points.
Funny enough, when I looked at it myself, I did one for minus 14. I also did an alternate spread, but going money line just to be safe because any given Sunday, week 1 can always be iffy. But so in other words, you need the Cowboys as just a Dallas fan aspect of this, not the betting aspect is. The Cowboys have to try to match the scoring of the Eagles against the Eagles' solid defense, pretty much.
Yeah, and the thing is, they did lose a bunch of pieces on on defense, so it's not like they have the same team as last year. But I mean, it's still solid, you know.
Well, then on to a Friday game in Week 1, a Friday night game, and I believe it's Brazil, correct? Is the Brazil game?
I believe so.
Is
Yep.
Yeah,
my location
I'm
wrong
pretty
on
sure.
this?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Brazil.
Quick little boop to boop myself on that. I believe it is Brazil. I will
Tasso.
confirm this later on. But it's the Chiefs and Chargers this year. International game, Week 1. Spread is at -3 in favor of the Chiefs. I'm gonna go to you this time, Justin. I'm gonna let you start this one off.
We're not going to keep the same rotation.
I mean, we can if you would like. I mean,
Yeah,
mix
let's
up a
keep it the same. Boom, boom, boom.
Wonderful. Then
Yep.
I'm gonna surprise you all because the very first whoopsie daisy of the NFL season for me is going to be in this game. I will be taking the Chargers money line. Partially in a sense of I just hate the Chiefs and will always want to bet against them. But the Chargers should have won that game last year. Justin Herbert, I think, is a rather solid quarterback. I feel like with Harbaugh that they're going to want to take a little bit of revenge from that game last year with that one possession. I believe it was the blocked field goal game last year. I think the Chiefs and Chargers split the season this year. And I think this is going to be the Chargers win. A statement opening the year. Chiefs are going to start off slow after the loss to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Feels like the Chiefs kind of start off slow every year. I mean, 2 or 3 years ago they lost to the Lions when the Lions weren't supposed to be good. The Lions actually, I don't believe, were good that season. This is a whoopsie daisy for me. Chargers money line.
I'm glad this started out early before you go, Christy.
Yeah.
To just set remind everyone of the listeners of the ground rules for a whoopsie daisy. It has to be at least a 3-point spread, and when you do take the underdog, the whoopsie daisy, you have to take the money line as well. So that's the whole point of the whoopsie daisy is you have to take the money line winner, the positive spread. So just to remind everyone what it is when we say that, that's what it is. But all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So for me, this game, obviously, they were very competitive teams against each other last year. Now, the thing about this game is the Chargers could have a slight advantage if this was actually their home game. This is a neutral field. Um, and I don't think that the Chiefs are going to let them beat them in a neutral field. So I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I think that just a little bit better, a little more cohesive, if you will.
And is that you're taking that spread at -3, or is that just Chiefs
Yeah, see,
money
I
line?
didn't look at any spreads if I'm being so totally honest with you. So you're just going to have to count me out on the spreads this week.
So
I'm
all money line. All your picks will be money line this
yeah,
week.
yeah. I haven't looked at
Wonderful.
any of the spreads if I'm being honest. I forgot that you guys do that. So um yeah, so I'm just taking the Chiefs.
You know what?
Mr. Justin.
I'm gonna have to agree, and I'm gonna do a little boop 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 right now myself because I believe um, the Chiefs starting out. Let's see, last five. Okay, so the past 3 years in a row they won the first game, and then they lost to Broncos Lions. Okay, yeah, I was looking up the history. I thought they won a lot more week ones, but kind of the same thing. There's no home field advantage. They're also off a Super Bowl. Let's not forget they three-peated. They were in the Super Bowl as well. They just find ways to win, and I think it's going to be kind of one of those fast starts for the Chiefs, slow start for the Charger type deals. So I'm going to take them -3.
All right, well, we'll see when you guys are wrong. Anyways, on to the first Sunday game that I have on DraftKings for week 1. Giants at the Commanders. Spread is at 6 in favor of the Commanders. I know the Giants have some pieces this year. They have would it be with Mr. Russell Wilson there? Would it be Giant Country Let's Stomp? Is that going to be the slogan this year? It was Steelers Country Let's Weld last year, and Broncos Country Let's Ride. But I think it's going to be Giant Country Let's Stomp, and they're going to get absolutely stomped by the Commanders. Um, I would be taking the money line just to be safe because I do think that Jane Daniels is going to have a sophomore slump this year, but I don't see any possible way with Terry being extended on the Commanders, and I don't see any way that the Giants can feasibly win this game. It could be by at least a touchdown for the Commanders. I mean, I know Russ made the Steelers look kind of good in the beginning last year, but I think it should be about a 4 to 5 point victory for the Commanders in this week 1, especially being at home.
Okay, yeah, I'm there was a part of me that thought maybe I take the Giants here. But I'm not going to do that. I think that week 1 is too early for me to pick the Giants. Now they could come out and surprise us. But throwing a new quarterback into the mix, whole new a whole new system for him, whole new players. I think they're going to need a week or two to really kind of figure it out. And I know we already talked about that, teams finding their identity and whatnot through the first couple weeks of the season. But I really think that they are going to have to do that. And this is not a good team to do that against. So I'm going to take the Commanders. They didn't lose any big pieces this offseason. And like you said, Terry McLaurin got his extension. So Debo Samuel back and healthy. Foley, I know he's a little banged up last year. So we'll see how they incorporate him into the offense more this year. So I think they're going to be a tough team to beat. So I'm giving it to the Commanders.
Well, I'm actually going to take the Giants spread here, guys. I like their defense. Very good, very, very, very good. I actually like everything they added on offense. They have a better quarterback this year, for sure. So Malik Neighbors is going to pop off. It's a divisional game. They're always going to play each other much harder, and the spread is massive. It's a 6 point spread. I Give me the 6 points for the Giants. I don't think they win the game, but I think it'll be a pretty close game here. And I
So
like the Commanders by like a field goal or so.
so similar thought process to me is the Commanders are more than likely going to win it, but it could be within that one score realm.
Yeah.
Or
Exactly. That's
I
kind of
could
how
see
I view it as well.
I could see both ends of it. I could see the Commanders absolutely blowing the Giants out of the water because poor Giants, but realistically, I think it'll be within a one-score game. But moving on to the next game is the Bengals and Browns. The spread is at 5.5, and to tie in one of our other conversation points, the Browns running back that they drafted in this last draft
It's 10:29 by the way.
was was arrested in July on a misdemeanor charge of domestic violence. I wanted to ask you guys, with players getting arrested, like Xavier Worthy was arrested in March for speeding, I believe it was, but then the one that stood out to me when I looked this all up, and who is on a suspension, I believe it's only a 6 game suspension, is Rashee Rice. But the difference with the Rashee Rice aspect of it is he's facing felony charges for, I believe it was reckless, it was speeding and an accident that caused serious bodily injury. With that aspect, with these players who are seen on such a grand stage compared to just us regular people who go work, and when we go get our application, we have to check, are we a felon? And that determines a lot of jobs for people. And should he even be allowed to play this season? Facing felony charges, coming back. To me, I see it as, oh, he did something really bad. Okay, here's half of the season off, and then you're still going to go make millions of dollars and have millions of people watch you each week. In my opinion, I don't think he should be allowed to play in that scenario, especially with a felony aspect. But I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are before we move on to the Browns Bengals pick.
Sure. So just to kind of go through some things here, um, where I'll get to Rashee Rice last. I'm going to go through the other two that you kind of mentioned. Both of the individuals that you mentioned, Judkins and Xavier Worthy, both of those guys were arrested, but all charges were dropped. So those don't necessarily warrant any sort of suspension or any sort of second thought from me, just because nothing actually came of it. Now, when you look at Rashee Rice, he's not just facing felony charges. He has been indicted on, like, he has been indicted on the charges. He is a felon. He pled guilty to 2 felony charges. Now, in his situation with how everything went, a 6 game suspension to me seems fine. He was charged with felony reckless driving. To me, that doesn't indicate anything too. I mean, obviously it's a felony, but it was just he was driving 117 miles an hour, being reckless. Did cause a little bit of an accident, but nobody died. I think in this situation, you kind of give him a slap on the wrist and give him the 6 game suspension. That's because that's what the NFL deems necessary for the type of thing that he did. They already have these systems set in place. Now, obviously, he would have gotten more longer suspension if someone had died. I mean, he would have been banned if someone had died. Obviously, he went to prison. So, like, I think that's kind of a moot point to make. But I think in this scenario, 6 games is fine, and I think you let him play.
Yeah, I would say he was extremely lucky in that sense.
Yes.
Absolutely. And yeah, there's nothing like game wise. I think they were saying it could be anywhere to 4 to 8 or 4 to 10 weeks. So yeah, like kind of like right in the middle game. I think this was expected to have a 6 game, and now a lot of talks are going to on the time frame of like why the first 6 games. They were talking about like the next set of 6 games possibly going in, and I know a lot of thrown around the argument with Jordan Addison, him only getting 3, versus Rashi Rice's 6, and all these arguments. But I think these are set out already, like per incident, how the
Right.
length of what they are. You get the time frame, but it's like a policy thing at work. You do this, you get X amount kind of thing. So that's where I think like the length of the suspension comes from. Should he be able to play? I mean, the punishment, I guess, is what Chris says, deemed fair. So once you serve your time and you get your 6 weeks and you pay all your fines, then you're back to the field. That's just how it is. So, if he's NFL talent, then he's gonna play, and that's just how it's been going pretty much forever. So, yeah, I think he got extremely lucky in this
Very.
scenario, though, which kept him on the field. So there you have it.
Wonderful. I mean, I get it. I mean, you're right. They do have those procedures in place. It just feels weird because of the scale they're on. It kind of, to me, shows that, oh, you can do a you can go reckless felony, and people will expect a slap on the wrist. That, like, oh, it shows to me, it shows a bad role model aspect of it. But I get it. Anyways, moving on with our predictions of that Bengals Browns game. This one's going to be short and sweet. I know I've mentioned in last podcast, in this podcast, the Bengals' first 4-week slump. It might happen, but the Browns are a mess. Joe Flacco is starting. The other grandfather in the league. We'll be talking about the other one in a moment. But I think it's just a very easy Bengals bunny. I think it will be a closer game because of their 4-week slump and typically not being prepared week 1. But I think it's an easy Bengals bunny line.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with you. The Browns kind of are all over the place. I do like Joe Flacco. I think he brings a good veteran presence to that offense, as far as like keeping everybody in line. But I think that the Bengals now being healthy, Joe Burrow is healthy, right? I'm not. I didn't miss anything. He is a 100% healthy to start the season.
To my knowledge.
Yeah, as
Okay.
far as I know. Yeah.
This is the first time in 3 years since he's been healthy to start the season. You got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins. I don't think that they're going to have a problem winning this football game. So I'm taking the Bengals.
All right, yeah, a couple things. First off, we're gonna have to start doing the spread bet, guys. I mean, money lines feel like a cop out. Going in next week, let's pay attention to the spreads here. You know what I'm saying? We're all betters here. If we're gonna throw money on
Full
these,
spreads here.
but
I
yeah.
have a
Anyway,
couple.
putting that aside, going
I don't bet.
start looking at the spreads. Yeah, everything looks good. They're at the beginning. Valid point. Everyone's healthy. O-line kind of looks scary a little bit too, but that's expected. It's pretty much the same as last year. We know that going in. I like that they started the starters getting in reps already in game form in the preseason. That's never happened before. So a lot of things are changing to get them out of this like first 3-week whatever they had going on. And also I have Browns literally dead last in my power rankings. So, I mean, this one's pretty simple, guys. The easiest pick is for my first whoopsie daisy of the NFL 2025 season. Give me the Browns money. Nothing's going to change. Week 1 Bengals, same old story. Give me the Browns money line.
Oh God. That's all right. That's definitely That's definitely a pick there
I like it.
wow.
I like
We'll
it.
see. We'll see when Justin's wrong next week as well with that. The Browns, as moving into another AFC North team for this next pick. Well, I mean, wow, that caught me off guard there, Justin. I won't lie. Steelers Jets. Um, want to tie in a little ownership talk with this as well. I saw a interesting thing that pulled this up, that the ownership rating for the Steelers has been a D. Recently, it hasn't been rated high compared to other teams in the league. Like for some reason, Justin will 100% disagree with this. The Dallas Cowboys ownership is rating is a B, which I thought was interesting and wanted to tie in how
Who's
big of a
rating
reason.
these?
This is
By chance, do you have the Rams rating?
let me
Interested.
scroll down to it real quick.
He's got to do some boop, 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 boop.
C.
Okay.
So BCD for our teams. However, um, how big of a reason can ownership be in the struggles of a team? Can they have too much influence on team decisions? And I mean, just look at Dallas. That's all I have to say is just look at Dallas. I mean, I'm sure there's other owners that play roles in teams that aren't as big on it. I mean, like look at Robert Kraft. The Patriots are rated as a D as well, and he's gotten into trouble with things. And but just look at Dallas and what happened there. And
I guys love
I
that
think
you
they
like to make fun of me. You guys,
well,
it's.
it's not trying to make fun of you.
I,
It's the fact aspect of it. The fact that
I
Jones
know.
is a B
and
floored me.
we have some really different owners in this podcast talk.
Yeah.
Um, because and actually, you know what? I'll get to that in a second. Nick, do you want to go on about what you feel about it?
I
I want to
mean,
cut.
I feel like with they have the determination of coaches and GMs and the decisions of key players for some people. It's just I feel like if it's a bad ownership, it is a direct correlation to a team struggling. I think it can be. However, if the coaching they all happen to be the right pieces around beforehand, even if the owner isn't mentally there and doing well, it's just I don't.
Okay.
I think the ownership can be a big reason of it.
It's really it's almost like it's 50-50 because like ownership can have a big influence on your team, good or bad. And we use the Cowboys as an example just because of how impactful Jerry Jones seems to be for that organization. Um, but then you take a look at a team like the Rams. Now you just said we were rated a C, at least as far as the owner goes. But how much has that impacted our team over the last year? I mean, we just won a Super Bowl in 2021,
And the
and
year after,
past 2 years we've had playoff berths the last 2 seasons, and all he does is sign a check. So it's kind of rough because the owners have to put in place the GMs and the head coaches. So you do have an impact on the team by putting the people in place that are supposed to run the teams. Um, and then how hands off you are can definitely play a part too. But again, I feel like it's more of a 50-50 thing. I don't know if there is necessarily a direct correlation to it just based off how different the Rams and the Cowboys are with how that goes, and then how both teams are playing. Now, granted, the Cowboys may not be winning Super Bowls, but the Cowboys are in the talks. They've made the playoffs in the last 10 years. Like they're there, right? So I don't know if it really plays that big of a part. It really what plays a part is who they put in place, GM, head coach.
Justin.
It's all going to come down to the players at the end of the day, but yeah, do I really even have to say anything about the Cowboys at all? Yeah, it feels like our ownership has been more in the entertainment business than the football business for the past 30 years, ever since we won our last Super Bowl. So that's going to play a big part into the team. All this media distraction, off-season background noise, like all this is just going to affect the players. I think, especially when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, in a negative way. But what will say about owners wise, I could probably name about 6 off the top of my head. Now, why is that? It's because a majority of the NFL isn't involved like they are. The owner of the thing is there to own the team. Like what Chris was saying, you're going to hire a guy to do the football things. You're going to have a professional that's been doing that in the scene that's going to be doing that. I know Jerry thinks he's the guy because of way back when he did it before and he made a draft decision. He's like, oh, I can do this. But yeah, there's a reason a majority, we don't even know the names of these owners because they handed off to the best guy for the job, which I think in this case, especially for me, you got to hand it off to the best man for the job. And we've had definitely,
Absolutely.
in my case, the owner making whatever impact it is, good, bad, negative, mostly negative. It's I feel like you got to have it's almost like a business structure. You have the CEO. He really doesn't know what the ground workers are doing. He's just collecting a check at home. Doing whatever and paying the money, which I feel like is how
But
it should be.
the rating was a B.
Um,
Anyways,
yeah, that's
moving
what I got.
on.
Yeah.
Moving on to that Steelers Jets prediction, I'm going tried and true with my faithful. I'm taking the Steelers spread at 3. I feel like it's going to be a field goal game. I mean, we got Aaron Rodgers' revenge game versus Justin Fields' revenge game, and we did not treat Justin Fields right. So I feel like it's going to be a closer game. I mean, that Steelers defense has always been elite, but I think it's going to be a closer game week 1, knowing Pittsburgh usually starts kind of slow. I just don't think that. I mean, Justin Fields, that quarterback for the Jets. Let's see what he could have done if he was our starter last year. So I'll still take Steelers -3, but yeah, it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, this is also a game that I kind of went back and forth on in my head when I was making my picks. I think the Jets have some good pieces, but they just cannot seem to get them to work well together. They just haven't been able to. Year in after year after year after year, doesn't matter the caliber of players that they have, they just cannot seem to get it to flow. Um, I like Justin Fields. To piggyback off what you said, I think he did a decent job for the first 4 weeks last year before Russell came back. I'm honestly surprised that they took him out because I thought he was playing pretty well.
It was politics.
I get it, yeah. So, with all that being said, I think I'm going to take the better organization with the better head coach and a veteran quarterback in the Steelers over the Jets, who just can never seem to get it done.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys, except I think it's a little more easier decision than that. So congratulations, Nick, to your 1-0 start of the season, Pittsburgh Steelers. This one's one of the easier bets that I've made, and I think this one's a lock. You can easily take the -3 here, and here's why. The Jets. I mean, I feel like this is going to be the week 1 figuring it out with Aaron Glenn. And the new coach and everything, and all the camp reports are saying Justin Fields can't throw the ball, which is a pretty glaring problem if you're the quarterback of a football team. And as we all know, the Steelers, same thing. The offense, I don't really. We got to see that. I'm not really going to put trust in it,
We
but
have
we
DK.
know about their defense. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna. They can't score if they're already gonna be struggling on offense, plus one of the better defenses in the league. I feel like they're gonna struggle to score points at all in this game, and I think the Steelers are gonna put up some points. So yeah, give me -3. And I was kind of surprised that the spread was this low. I think it's always because the home team gets that ghost -3 points that no one ever talks about, but it's always home team gets that ghost 3. So I think realistically, this is like a touchdown game. So yeah, give me Steelers easy -3.
I mean, over under is one of the lower in the league as well. It's I think the only one sub 40. The only one sub 43, I believe, actually. It's at a 38. It is the only one sub 43. So it's going to be projected the lowest scoring game of week 1. So we will see. But the Cardinals at the Saints. It's a 6.5-point spread. I don't believe in the Saints at all. I mean, the Cardinals can win football games. I don't think they're winning this by a touchdown. I mean, they very much could. It depends on if it's Call of Duty double XP weekend or not from Mr. Kyler Murray there, or something going on Battlefield 6. That's why I won't take the spread of this game, because the Cardinals are going to win it. They can win by more than a touchdown if it's not double XP weekend. I haven't looked that up. If it's double XP weekend, it's going to be a 1-point victory for them. But Cardinals money.
Okay. Fun fact: last week was double XP weekend in COD.
Ah,
I know because I played it. I don't think that has an impact here. The Saints, another team that, what is going on over there?
They have Spencer Rizzler as their quarterback.
Exactly. Like, what is happening with that team right now? Nobody knows. I think there's too many unknowns. I don't trust them at all. I have them probably the second worst team in the league this year. Now the Cardinals are not a good team by any standard either. But I think they they can at least string together a couple touchdowns or something, or at least a field goal, to beat this Saints team. So I'm going Cardinals.
All right, well, I'm going to take the spread. For which team, you ask? Yes, the Cardinals. I think they're going to be a lot better than people put them as right now. I'm not going to do last year what I did with the dark horse team and everything, but I do think they will be a little bit better. I don't have them as one of my sleepers. That might come out. Yeah, you guys don't know who my sleeper pick is. But yeah, I'm going to take the spread for them. They win by a touchdown.
wonderful. And in the game I am taking a spread for is the Buccaneers and Falcons. It's a 2.5-point spread. With it's the Buck spread for me on this aspect. Baker Mayfield, or in the terms of, again, the gentleman who was in my seat last year, Daddy Mayfield. He's just gonna take the show, and it's gonna be, honestly, this is a game. If the Bucks spread was at 6.5, I would still take it. Against Michael Penix Jr. is the starting quarterback for the Falcons. He didn't, to my knowledge, I don't remember if they picked up one of the vets.
He was heating up last year. Was the thing. His
But
closing out games were pretty good.
I think the Bucks are the more complete team in this aspect, with Mike Evans still rocking out there, and Bucky Irving is going to run all over the place, and Baker Mayfield is going to be holding a defensive lineman off with one hand and throwing the ball and scoring touchdowns. So Bucks spread easy.
All right. So I disagree. And just to let you know, last year the Buccaneers failed both times to beat the Falcons. The Falcons went. So I think that's going to repeat itself this year. The Falcons are still as good as a team as they were last year, and like Justin said, they only got better as the season progressed. Now, that's not to discredit the Buccaneers, but in Atlanta, first game of the year, it's going to be a rough game. I'm squeaking out with the Falcons.
You know what, Chris? I really do like the pick, because this one was also hard for me, because exactly what you said in my notes. Guess what I had 0-2 last year against the Falcons. Also, home game here, division. They always play each other long and hard.
Oh, whoa!
So,
Hey, now don't mess with the algorithm.
Yeah, I had a tough time picking this as well. I even still might be a little bit undecided, but I'm gonna go with what I have, and that's also with the Bucks minus 2.5. I don't know why I ended up doing it, but
Eddie,
yeah,
I mean,
this could
Baker.
be in contention for one of those game of the week. Game of the week.
Right.
No, there is
Um,
there is a in my mind there is a clear game of the week we'll talk about in a
could be
little
in
bit.
contention, so I'm just gonna throw that out there as we do. That's another thing that we do. All the newcomers here, Christy, we do the game of the week thing. But yeah,
And
that's
eyeball avoiders. We
that.
haven't.
Yeah, that's true. We do. We'll get to that too. Yeah, we get a little fun, but yeah, I had it down as Bucks minus 2.5. I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay.
And that's it. It could go either way. I could see it. I almost took the other.
So this next game is Miami at Indianapolis, and this line confused me. I had to double check to make sure the Colts starting quarterback still is Daniel Jones,
Speaking of eyeball avoider,
which it is. This will be an eyeball avoider because who wants to watch Daniel Jones throw a football? Um, it's minus 1.5 in favor of the Colts. With Daniel Jones under center, we know what he can do. I am taking an alternate spread, Dolphins by a touchdown, because Daniel Jones is going to throw 6 interceptions in the first quarter.
so for betting sake, I'm gonna put you down as Dolphin money. But
Yes, for our little stats, but I
yeah,
will be doing an alternate spread for the Dolphins at 6.5 because it's Daniel Jones. There might be more defensive touchdowns in this game for the Dolphins than the entire NFL season combined for the rest of the teams.
Um, yeah, these are just two teams that we still don't really know. How is Tua feeling? Is he healthy? How's
His
his
brain
brain?
jello.
Does he feel good? Is he gonna go out there feeling good? Um, I think I think yes. Um, and the Colts, for me, kind of a little bit of a dumpster fire right now. They're trying to put it out. They're trying,
Yeah, with oil.
but I just don't see it happening. I'm taking the Dolphins. Um, I don't think that Daniel Jones is going to be able to get it done. Now, he has gone to the playoffs before with the Giants that one year when Saquon had that really good season. So Jonathan Taylor, can he do that for Daniel Jones too? Who knows? We'll have to see. This is another team where it's just way too early to tell. The Dolphins have a more cohesive team. They've been together for a while now. I'm just going to go with the Dolphins.
you know what? I'm also gonna go with the Dolphins. I'm also gonna take the money line, and yeah, these are just one of those eyeball avoider games. Even though I have red zone, I'm gonna be trying not to be watching this one. So yeah, I think we're all gonna have Dolphins money for this one, and yeah, I guess there's really nothing to say. A Chain's going in there fully healthy, expected anyway. Um, yeah, I think Tua, same thing. I haven't heard anything at least for him, so you gotta figure at least the offense is gonna be okay. I don't see
They got
why they
Minka,
don't put up points. So
and they have Minka Fitzpatrick back on their defense. He
now,
is
what I
returned
will
back to Miami.
say as well about this is usually when we have games like this, as we found out doing this from last year, we're like, why are the Colts favored? Well, like, why is the spread like this? Vegas knows something that we don't, because in my eyes, this is like, how do the Dolphins not win this game? So there could be like an underlying factor that we're overlooking here, which is kind of scary to be like, why is it like that? But I'm gonna
I wonder if
disregard all of those red flags and signs and pick them anyway. So give me Dolphins money.
Agreed.
wonderful. Well, the next game is speaking of Vegas. Actually, the next game is the Las Vegas Raiders. It's almost like they knew. It's almost like they knew we were doing this, and you'd mentioned that at the New England Patriots. And I'll keep this short and sweet for my second whoopsie daisy.
Ooh!
I am taking the Las Vegas Raiders money line simply because of Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, and Geno Smith being their quarterback. Geno Smith did not do bad in Seattle. Brock Bowers is a big tight end with great hands, and he's just gonna run all. I mean, I know Drake May was doing great at the end of the year and it's looking promising for the Patriots. I think the Patriots are gonna have a better season again this year, but I think the Raiders take Week 1 in this. I think Genty's gonna have a great opening day for his rookie campaign, and they win this game.
Okay. Like you said, you got Bill Carroll now. Pete Carroll, rather. Bill Carroll.
Pete
Jesus. Yeah, I'm mixing up first names in my head. Pete Carroll. I mean, one of the all times, right? Geno Smith played well. They've got a lot of things going for them. I don't see it happening all together in Week 1, though. So I am just going to stick with the Patriots for my pick here. I think Drake May and the team get it done at home. I don't expect it to be any sort of blowouts, though. It could be a close game, and the Raiders could pull it off. But I'm going to give it to the Patriots.
Yeah, this is also one of those ones where it could be contention of game of the week, because both of these are one of those teams that I think can improve and actually make a push to the playoffs. Either one of these guys, I could see this game going either way. So what I had for this game is I'm going to hedge the possible win towards the Raiders. I'm going to take the spread +3. And it could be like that 1 point game. You know, the Patriots win, they win. But yeah, I'm going to take them +3 just in case they, hedge out a 1 point or 3. So, yeah, this is going to be a close match. But you also forgot to mention Vrabel is also an elite coach on the other side. Another new coach,
Vrabel,
by the way,
yeah,
started this year. So
right.
Both of these guys are going to have to figure out and come together Week 1. Yeah, I was going to say the rookie running back as well for the Patriots, but I think they're going to go with Stevenson to start. So I don't know. I think he was going with an injury as well, so I don't know his full workhorse capability for this game. But Trevion Henderson is what we're going to be looking at for the Patriots. How many touches does he get in this game? That's what it's going to be really exciting, both those guys. But yeah, give me Raiders +3.
And then for my eyeball avoider of the week as well, the Panthers at the Jaguars. The Panthers are one of those teams last year is what is going on. They did not have a good year. Jaguars had their quarterback turn into cello last year because of the Texans. But he's back. They have Travis Hunter on their side now. I'll take the Jag spread at -3.5. Still think it might be an eyeball avoider, but I'm taking.
Yeah, the Panthers, nothing more to say. You could get sideline tickets last year for $20. So they're just not a good team. Could they somehow change that and do a 180 turnaround? I don't think so in Week 1. Trevor Lawrence has shown what he is capable of doing. Last year he did, there were some struggles there, injuries, whatever. I'm going with the Jags.
Yeah, so I could say the same too with Bryce and Trevor. I think they've both been on the struggle bus, and I don't think Trevor Lawrence has really proved anything too much in the league. They are at home for this game, but I gotta kind of almost see it to believe it. They're an actual football team, just on the hot streak. Kind of almost the same as Penix going the last 3 games. Bryce in the last 3 games also seemed to have some kind of team clicking, picking it up, almost like he was figuring out kind of thing.
After he was benched.
Yeah, just based literally purely on that, I'm gonna take their spread at +3.5. The Panthers, and yeah, one of those eyeball avoider close games. You never know what could happen kind of thing. Any given Week 1 Sunday.
Of course.
And then, holy hell, what a spread in week 1 at 8.5 for the Titans and Broncos. With the moderate over-under at 42, Broncos spread 8.5. The Titans are in the exact same situation as the Panthers. I mean, what happened to them last year? They got that number 1. They have Cam Ward this year, but I don't think it's a week 1 fix. Broncos are going to run away with this game. 8.5. Bo Nix is going to throw for 375 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Okay. So
Uh-oh.
I love the Broncos here, but
Oh.
I'm not taking them.
Ah!
I'm taking the Titans.
Wait, what?
Oh my God!
I think
Chris T's
that this is going to be a week 1 upset.
Wait, what?
I think this is going to be a week 1 upset.
Serious?
I'm taking them. I am taking the Titans. I thought that this would be a fun one to take because the Titans,
in
you
winning
don't
is-
really know what they're going to be capable of coming out, and I think they're going to stun the Broncos.
That is an insane thing to say because I was literally just about to open up with. I think the spread is so high because it's unexpected about what Cam Ward and the offense is going to be. But either way, the biggest spread taken a whoopsie days is absolutely insane work by Christie.
I'm doing it.
That
He's a
is
natural.
I'm
He's a
doing it.
natural to the Fastcast. Wow.
But yeah, that was unexpected. I'm not gonna do that because unlike the Titans, as well as unexpected, I'm gonna go with the expected pick here. I'm gonna join Nick with a minus 8.5. That means they gotta win by 9, guys. That's a lot of points. But I think coming in, first game, first rookie season, first NFL game against a very, very tough defense, there's going to be growing pains week 1. He's going to take a lot to figure out that defense, which is why I'm going to take minus 8.5 here for the Broncos.
And now to a much more reasonable spread at 2.5 for the 49ers and Seahawks. Mr. Purdy versus Sir Samuel, now in Seahawks uniform. I think CMC is going to have a rebound year. This is a Niners 2.5 easy for me. The Seahawks lost DK, who is a big component. I mean, they still have Kenneth Walker, but the 49ers have Ayuk still. They have Ricky Pearsall. They have, Amikbu, the guy whose name sounds like the noise a plunger makes. Oh, he is on Tampa. I apologize. Yes,
Yep.
he is. I just saw the red jersey. And but still, Ricky Pearsall, I think, is going to have a phenomenal year now that Debo's gone. 49ers minus 2.5. I think they win by 4 to 5, in all honesty. So that 2.5 is a nice, easy take for me.
Chris, you got the division teams here. What do you think?
Yeah. So these guys always play each other hard.
Long
And
hard.
I like what the Seahawks did in the offseason. Now, can Sam Darnold recreate what he did with that team last year with the Vikings? Not quite sure. I do feel like the 49ers lost a lot of key defensive players. They are struggling right now. They had to pick up Sky Moore as a receiver because their receiver room is so banged up. I'm taking the Seahawks. At home, they're a tough team to beat. And will there be some woes maybe in the beginning of the game getting things going? Probably. But I think the 49ers have their own things that they need to figure out, and this is a really hard game to do that with. So I'm taking the Seahawks.
And I'm gonna join you. I think it's same as what you were saying. Their defense is in complete shambles. I do put my trust in Sir Samuel. I think he does have not quite like the season he had, winning 14 games last year, but I think he picks up here. I see reports that Cooper Kupp might be his favorite receiver going in, but the 49ers also do know how to deal with him because he stayed in the division. At home, I thought about taking the spread. It's not quite at the whoopsie daisy standard, but I'm still going to take the money. And yeah, that's I think Seahawks win.
All right. Well, now for these next three, all three of these next ones I'm saying are contenders for game of the week. Lions at the Packers. Spread is 2.5 in favor of Green Bay. Going to be a great game. I mean, what was Lions, Packers, Vikings were all just one game away from one of them winning the division.
That
I
was
mean,
fun.
I think two of these teams, if not all three of those teams, again, are going to be just juggernauts again this year. Like the powerhouses. Oh God, which one of them's going to be in it? They're all going to be in the race for the playoffs in the division again. Um, However, I am taking the Lions money line on this as well. Again, not quite a whoopsie daisy because of that 2.5. But Aiden Hutchinson's back. Their offense is still elite. Jared Goff was slinging those balls last year. He's got Amon-Ra, Williamson, um, Sonic and Knuckles of Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery. I think even with the Packers now having Micah Parsons on it, I think the defense isn't gonna quite hold up to the Lions' offense. I think their offense is just that good this year.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm taking the Packers this game. I think that the Packers defensive line was really good last year. I think they have one of the best young defenses in the league. Um, then you add Micah Parsons to that. I was reading things today about injuries in his back. Is that what was going around
I
the
was
league
also
or
reading
around the
that.
news?
Yeah.
So will that be a factor? I'm not sure. He said that even with sitting and all of that, he actually would have played week one with the Cowboys as well. He said he wasn't going to sit out. I don't know how real that is, but I don't know if that plays a factor. Now, Micah Parsons being just an elite edge rusher as well as the other things he can do, he doesn't need to figure out the whole defensive playbook. They can just put him on the field and he can just rush
And go
the
play a football
passer.
game.
Yeah. So, I think he'll probably have a big impact on this game, and I just don't know if Jared Goff and that offensive line is going to be ready for what the Packers defense has for them. So I'm doing the Packers.
Um, I think I'm going with Packers as well, but not because of the defense. I don't know how much he's actually going to be playing week one. You know, he pretty much, I'm talking Micah, that is, pretty much sat out of practice for the past whatever. I know he's a super athlete too. All this top top talk of NFL player in the entire league kind of thing. But you need to get your reps in too, and with the back situation. And I read that epidurals were in talk. Like he's gonna have to have
Oh
one for
wow.
the game. And, like yeah, it's that deep. So I don't know. My thought is he'll probably be out there, but kind of a limited situation kind of thing. Even so, yeah, he may make an impact. But when Nick was saying, you know, man, the Lions just got so many tools out there; they can do anything. I am taking Packers though, but because Lambeau, it's just the whole Lambeau
Money or
effect.
spread.
You know, it's just impossible to play there. Um, man, I might change my mind about that, but no, I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, give me the Packers by a field goal, -2.5, and let's lock it in before I change my mind.
Wonderful. Then we'll, on that case, just move right on to what I think could be another contender for game of the week. The Texans at Chris T's Los Angeles Rams. Um, I have this. I have this also as a whoopsie daisy. I'm sorry, Chris T. Um,
A
with the factor
whoopsie
of staff.
daisy.
A whoopsie daisy. I liked the Texans a lot last year. I still like the Texans this year. I mean, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. It's just they got weapons on the outside. I mean, I know this I could be entirely also very wrong on, but this is more of a gut read. Texans are going to win this game. I think it's going to be in. I'm going to throw back to the prediction of last year, Justin. It's going to be on a play in the final 40 seconds of the game, just like the Steelers Cowboys last year. It's going to be a final decision game. Either the Texans are going to win it or lose it. They
What a
will
great
have the
game that was.
opportunity to win it. It was a phenomenal game. Still sad about it, but anyways. Yeah, I think the Texans squeak it out, especially if Stafford is also having his back issues, and if God forbid that gets re-aggravated during this game, and something happens to him, I think it's a very clear cut then Texans victory.
So I feel like I shouldn't be biased, but I'm going to be.
However,
I'm taking the Rams here. Now, we have one of the best defensive lines, I would argue, in the league. Last year, they racked up. I mean, just look at what we did to poor Sam Darnold in that playoff game.
you mean when you guys ripped
9
his helmet
sacks.
off in the playoff game and there wasn't a
9
play going on
sacks. We tied an NFL record for sacks
Oh, I do
in the
remember that.
playoffs.
Yeah, that was nice.
So, this is year 2 for some of those guys on that squad for Jared Verse and Braden Fisk. Plus, you add Puna Ford. Great run blocker, which was one of our biggest problems last year. Our secondary is a little suspect, but I think that the defensive line is going to be able to get to the quarterback. I'm not saying that we're gonna stomp them by any means. I still think it's going to be a pretty close game. The Texans are going to be able to put up points, but I think the Rams offensively will be able to do that as well. Not really going to think about the Stafford injury because they do not seem concerned about it at all. So I'm going in without that in mind, and I'm going Rams.
For me, I almost see the Rams as like the expected winner in this game. They're at home, season opener, everything looks great. New offensive tool. You got things to like Devontae Adams to play with. Puka coming back, great receiver. Stafford, who knows? He's healthy. We say anyway. But I almost feel like as well, they have a Bengals-esque Week 1 thing, I guess you want to put it, where it's like, yeah, they're going to win this game easily. But then in Week 1, they just somehow end up losing, and they go 1-4. And then all of a sudden they go to the NFC Championship game after a 1-4 start. All that being said, for my second whoopsie daisy of the NFL Week 1 2025 season, I'm going to have the Texans money line here. I think the Rams drop it Week 1 here. They are my Super Bowl pick, mind you. So it's not over after Week 1. We just heard the statistics at the beginning of this. 0-1, it's a Week 1 start. Fear not, Rams fans, because you are still my prediction, my pick. But as of Week 1, I have the second whoopsie daisy of the week, and Texans winning the game.
Okay.
And then what I think is actually going to be game of the week. The Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills is the first Sunday night game of the year.
What a great primetime game this is going to be.
What a fantastic primetime game. What a way to end Sunday football. It is 1.5 towards the Bills. This game very much can go either way.
Basically a pick 'em.
It's just a pick 'em. There's the spread means nothing. It's who's winning the game. It's going to be that close of a game, I believe, again. But I do have the Baltimore Ravens winning this. As much as I would love Lamar Jackson's knee to go inverted at some point this season, he's a phenomenal quarterback. I mean, he was in the running with MVP, with Mr. MVP Josh Allen on the other side. But Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry. I think this is going to be their year. Like I said in week 1, I think it's a Bird Bowl. I think the Ravens win the Super Bowl this year. I think they're going to have a phenomenal season, and I think it's going to start with that tone right here, beating the Bills in Buffalo week 1.
This is a hard game to pick. I think the Bills are a tough team to beat at home. And I'm still in my head thinking about if I want to make this determination or not. But I think I'm going to agree with you, Nick, and I'm picking the Ravens to win this football game. I don't think there's really much else to say about that.
So I'm gonna switch it up. I tended to go with these pick'em games, the home team, just because the advantage thing. So I'm gonna stick with it going into this year. Give me the Bills. Money though. Don't give me the spread. They could quite literally win by 1. I'm taking money for this one. But hey, give me the Bills at home.
Well then, for the last game of week 1 of the 2025-2026 NFL season is the Minnesota Vikings against the Bears.
Bears.
It's only a 1.5 point spread. I mean, the Bears won week 1 last year just solely off of their defense. I never really believed Caleb Williams looked good at all last year. JJ McCarthy's back. He's not going to get injured. He's one of my favorites this year. I'm taking the Viking spread. That -1.5. Honestly, I think if it was -2.5, -3, I would still take it. I think Vikings win week 1 by at least a field goal.
Okay. Both these teams here, when I look at star power, I think that the Vikings have more of the star power. And then when you look at the quarterbacks, we don't really know what JJ can do, which is kind of red flaggish when you're making your first week picks. But we know a little bit of what Caleb Williams can do. He's had flashes of some fun last year, but I don't think it was enough. I think the Bears are still struggling to figure out how he plays a role with that team and everything going on there. I mean, you see videos of practice where he's just tossing the ball like at a net, like they're trying to be making it in the hole, and he's just throwing it at the ground. Like he's not even trying. Like, I don't know what all that is going to translate to week 1. But I don't hold a whole lot of trust in Caleb Williams, so I'm gonna go with the Vikings as well.
I'm gonna disagree with both of you. Give me Ben Johnson. +1.5 at home. Yeah, that's all I got to say, really. I mean, this is going to be one of those close games, too. Division. Always going to be tough. Always going to be fun. And week 1 starter, rookie, unexpected thing. You don't know with JJ. I mean, JJ to JJ, going to JJ, touchdown JJ. I had to say it. Yeah, pretty much all you have to do is throw it up to him and he'll catch it. But I like the Bears at home. I think they're going to have it above 500 this year. I think they're going to be a much improved team, with Ben Johnson stepping in. Although I will say he doesn't look very happy with the stuff that's going on. But who knows? We only get to see what we get to see kind of thing. So just to disagree, give me the Bears +1.5. And yeah.
Cool.
Wonderful. Well then, everyone's favorite segment of every.
It's time for It's Okay, It's Not Okay.
Is it okay or not okay to heckle people of the other team at games? When you're there, you're rowdy, you're tailgating, you're in the stands, you're feeling the energy. Is it okay or not okay to heckle people at games when they're with their kids and family? I'm going to bring this to Mr. Justin first, who was...
Me first? Oh my gosh.
Mr. Justin
what
first for the It's Okay, Not Okay, because he was the one being heckled by me last year.
Yeah, so what I'll say immediately right off is, you got to have your fun as well. Heckling is always going to be part of sports, no matter what kind of sport it is. Heckling is all part of the fun. But at the same time, it does have to be respectful. You can't be an absolute maniac heckling everything. I always get it because I wear my Cowboys jersey to a game that and I always get it from everyone. Oh, okay, you're always gonna get the remarks, but it always has to be respectful, like, especially when you're with like kids and your family and that stuff. There is a certain line that you shall not or shan't not cross going into the heckle situation. So a little shout like "haha, we win, you suck" kind of thing. Sure, that's in fair play, but don't go over that line to where it's we all know what we're talking about, hecklers and coming in, and there's a point where like we're just trying to watch the game with our kids, stop harassing us kind of line type thing. So a little bit of heckle, like it's okay, it's not okay, official vote. It's okay.
But as long as that line isn't crossed.
Absolutely.
And Christy?
Yeah, so I agree. It's definitely okay to heckle. You do have to be aware of your surroundings. That can obviously dictate how much you heckle and where that line is, depending on who you're around. But yes, it is okay to heckle.
Well, then, man, I feel like you last year, Justin, on this point. Just for the sake of conversation, and I'm gonna go with it. It's not okay. I mean, in all fairness, I agree with what you guys are saying. That, I mean, there's limitations aspect of it, but for just the conversation of saying it's not okay, I mean, they're there with their kids, man. I've personally watched in Pittsburgh before a 65-year-old man screaming at like a 6-year-old kid in a Bengals jersey. Like that things like that are not okay. I mean, the kids, they just like the team. A lot of young people just like the teams because that's who their parents like. I mean, I think if they're with kids and family, it's just leave them alone. I mean, it's their life. There's no reason to get in that. No reason to heckle with strangers.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard both sides of the story. It's okay, it's not okay. Let us know on Twixter if we're still doing that, if we're still posting the votes. I'll get that on there somehow. If it's okay or if it's not okay. At the Fastcast, of course. And enjoy, as you will hear us at 8 a.m. on Thursday, tonight, as the Dallas Cowboys dismantle the Philadelphia Eagles week 1 of the NFL season. Football's back, guys. Enjoy week 1. We will see you all next week, as always, every single Thursday, 8 a.m. at the Fastcast. And would you like any departing words, Christy or Mr. Nick?
Go Rams.
Go
God
Steelers, and
damn it. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week.
Be safe around trains. A message from Metro.